you already know who it is. Best of the best serpent on my chest, SHYMIRA. I'm back, you're back, and we have both just stepped back into Shamira's vibes. Clap, 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 clap. Hey guys, I did not make an intro for my vlog. I just thought about that. Okay guys, so today, welcome to another video. As you can see, I'm dropping videos back to back to back because 3 videos for the 3 months that it took for me to upload. Sorry once again. I'll say it again in this video in case you didn't catch it in the other 2 videos. Make sure you go check out my first story time or my first story time for this 3 back-to-back upload of my 5-year-long situationship. Go watch that, and also watch my vlog of You're My Eyes or My Camera for the Day. Go keep that vlog as well. Like, comment, and subscribe over there. Then come back to this video or stay and then go whatever. Today's video is another story time. Oh, but like I was saying before I cut myself off, was 3 months took me to upload was because I was, you know, in my books for school. I'm on my mini break. I go back next week. But yeah, I'm on my mini break, so I decided to make sure I make some content. So all I have to do is edit and just push the videos out. So my 3rd video for this back-to-back triple upload is another story time because based off my feedback so far and based off my views and interactions, you guys really like my car videos and my vlog. So yeah, so in today's video I'm doing another story time because that seems like the biggest feedback that I get. So this story time is about how my supposedly friend wanted my man, who was not my man but was my man, and you knew he was my man. That wasn't my man. Yeah. So this is also my situationship. He's gonna be 5 years, y'all. So there's a lot of stories that's gonna be revolved around him because for 5 years you got some stories to tell. Okay, so this story time is about situationship. So situationship has been in my lyric prank video, so you can go watch that video. My story time that I just did, and now he's gonna be in this video as well. I already told him he's gonna be in my video, so he doesn't care. Honestly, I don't care if he cared, honestly, because it's my story. We're gonna do names because of course, so we're gonna keep his name as Basketball. Her name is gonna be Jamaican. I'm gonna name her Jamaica. Which one should we do? Jamaica or Jamaican? Jamaica kind of rolls off better. We're gonna call her Jamaica because she is Jamaican and like she reps that very, very hard. So we're just gonna call her Jamaica because I have nothing else to represent her. Okay, so this story time is gonna date back to 2020. 2019. Yes, because I still had an Android. Yeah, 2019, the start of my senior year. At this point, like I said in my other story time, situationship is already at another high school. He already switched during our junior year. So at this point, I liked somebody else. Like it was a couple of weeks into senior year. So I think we're like in September-ish, because I know I didn't have that many friends at the beginning of senior year. So I think the next month. So so at this point, a little backtrack was me and situationship were basketball. Me and Basketball were not talking. At this point, I hated him and I was disgusted with him. I didn't like him. Like I thought like I was never gonna talk to him again. For this story time, I don't think I have receipts because at this point I didn't really save messages, especially because I had an Android to iPhone. I don't think I saved messages and stuff like I do now. So I don't think there's any receipts for this, but I'm not lying, so it's whatever. So yeah, so at this point I was over him. I liked somebody else, like Basketball, who was my mentality at this time. So then I saw Jamaica around campus. Like I never seen her my freshman, sophomore, or junior year. But when I saw her, I thought she was so pretty. Like I was just like, she is so pretty. And she was always by herself. So I was like, okay, she doesn't have friends, because you know, I don't join cliques. Like I just feel like you won't really be that. Sometimes you are, but I feel like when you join cliques, you kind of like have to stick yourself to them, and you really aren't really in the clique for real. I don't know, like I don't like joining cliques, like friend groups that are already formed. Like I don't like doing that. Why I join out with my friends now? It was different. But high school is different. Like middle school I think you can, but like high school I feel like I don't know, you really can't join cliques from high school. Anyway, so I saw her around campus or school, and I always thought she was really, really pretty, and she was always by herself. So I was like, I'm gonna be her friend. Like once I make my mind set to be somebody's friend, I usually end up being their friend. So we had this, what was it called, this one girl, because my senior year I wanted to make the best of it. I really didn't, but I wanted to make some type of effort to enjoy my senior year. This was my first year in high school without my sister, because she already graduated the year before. So I was really by myself for real. So it was, I think it was called Girl Empowerment. Girl Innovative Club, something like that. And it was any race could join, but only really the black girls, because our school was black dominated really. So a lot of the black girls at my school, including myself, joined the group or the club. That's the only club that I did join. It was also a Bible study one, but it met up like once every trimester, so it wasn't that frequent. But the Girl Innovative Club, I think that's what it's called, it joined every Friday, I believe. So when I saw her in the group, I was like, oh my gosh, she's in this group too. So I was like, okay. But at this point, I was really shy. Like, I wasn't as like extroverted as I am now. Like, I'll talk to people now, but then I really wasn't that like approaching to people like I used to. Like, people that approach me, or I just wouldn't have friends, honestly. So I saw her in a group, and she was friends with this one girl that I had, what was that called? I forgot, but it was this another club, and it was for like, it took us on college tours and college trips and stuff like that. So I saw her there, and I was like, okay, so she's friends with her. So I was like, I could try to talk to her to get to her so I can be friends with her. But then I wasn't really that close to her, and once again, that means I had to talk to somebody. So I was like, I don't know. So that was September. So then we had our senior sunrise, or little senior breakfast. I don't know if every school is like that, but I know in Florida, for the seniors, they have this one breakfast for all the seniors and stuff like that. So I went to it. Of course, I wanted some breakfast, and it was pancakes and a bunch of breakfast food. Not too much, but I think it was just pancakes for an orange juice. But yeah, so it was in the cafeteria. So mind you, I have no friends at this point. So when I walked in, I was like, where am I gonna sit? So I was walking, and there was two, I believe it was two, because I remember there was some pancakes at the beginning and there was some in the back. So I went, those lines were full, so I went to the ones towards the back. And her table, I saw her and the girl, I'm gonna call her Lizard, because she reminds me of a lizard. So I saw Jamaica and Lizard sitting at the table that was right next to the pancake station. So I was like, I have nowhere else to sit, so I was like, freaking, I'm just gonna sit with them. And that's literally what I did. I got my pancakes and I just sat in front of them. And I just sat in front of them, and Lizard recognized me. She was like, hi, and I was like, hey. So then she just introduced me to her friends. She's like, oh, this is Jamaica, and then the other girls and stuff like that. I was like, hi, I'm Shymira. So then we were talking, and then Jamaica just asked, like, do you want to take a picture together? And I was like, sure. It's October 7th, 2019. So that's me in Jamaica. Did I have an accent? I'll show, that's how much face I'll show. So that was her. I look like a baby, don't I, compared to now? So so yeah, so we took that picture, and she's like, what's your phone number? And I was like, I have an Android, but my number is da 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 da. So then we were texting. That was day one. And then the next day, because I had no friends, I didn't eat in the cafeteria. I didn't like school lunch. So what I would do, instead of being in the cafeteria looking lonely, I would go to the library. So at least, like, you know, it's common to be by yourself in the library. So I would just go to the library for lunch and just be in there for the 30 minutes. And I would do homework, listen to music, watch YouTube. I would just be in there until it was time for 5th period. So the next day, so sorry mom, I have her, I haven't given back to her yet. I got this for her from the beauty supply store, and I don't even know if it's a brand, but it's the coffee color, and it's so cute. I don't know if y'all can see, but it's like a light brown complexion. So I kind of upgraded from using the darker one. I don't know if y'all can notice, but to me it's giving light makeup. And me and her were texting, and then she was like, where are you? So we ended up having lunch together, and I was like, oh, I'm in the library, I don't eat school lunch. So she's like, okay, I'll come with you. So I'm like, okay, I'm sitting in the front, like the front chairs. So she comes in there, and we're talking. I'm like being a little shy, you know, at the beginning I'm always shy when I first meet people, and then eventually I'm like, what's up? So we were talking, and then like I was like, I've never seen you, like all 4 years I've been here, I haven't seen you not once. So then she's saying she came from Bevins High School. That's not the name. It's, yeah, she came from Bevins High School. So I was like, oh, and she said she was here last year. And I was like, I didn't notice you last year either. We both were seniors at this point too. We're both seniors. So I was like, oh, okay. So then I was, oh, that's the thing. So when she said Bevins High School, I like rolled my eyes, because that's the school that basketball went to at that point. We all graduated 2020. So so when she said that, she was like, oh, actually, because I went to Bevins for my first 2 years, and I came here last year and this year. And I was like, when she said Bevins, she was like, oh, that's my school, like right where your eyes. And I was like, oh, somebody that I know goes there. So she was like, oh, I know everybody that goes there. Who? So I said, oh, his name is, I don't know if you know him, his name is Basketball. And me assuming I'm over him, I showed a picture of how he looks. I'm like, oh, this is his account. And she's like, oh, I know him, like I follow him. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's fine. So then she was like asking questions about him, like, oh, so like what's some things I should know about, like as if she was trying to like talk to him, I guess. I don't know, because she was like, oh, what's some things I should know about him, like is there anything that's wrong with him, what do you like about him? But I'm assuming that I was over him, because now we're in October. So me and her didn't become friends until October. So from August till September I had no friends. But at this point I ended up liking somebody else, because I was a volleyball coach at this point. I think volleyball season was in. Yeah, because I took a picture with that girl. So yeah, so volleyball season was in. So I ended up, when volleyball would practice, football players would be coming in and out the locker rooms too. So we would see them passing by and stuff like that. So I ended up like having a little crush on one of the football players. So I assumed I was over him because I was liking somebody else. So like I was telling her all his business, not all his business, but like telling like his green flags, his red flags, because I'm like, I'm over him. So I'm like, I don't care who we talk to or whatever, but like girl code. Like I don't know why then I would tell her stuff about somebody I used to talk to and they could have possibly dated. Like that would have been weird for me. I don't know why I would try to like help her out in a sense. That's weird. So like in like the rest of lunchtime in the library was spent talking about him, and even when I got home, like she asked me the same questions again, and I was like, oh, like I remember saying that, like I told you he's this, he's that. And I was like, but maybe for somebody else he'll be different, I don't know, da 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 da. So that's October. So I kept that in the back of my mind. So then I can't say exactly, yes I can, because at this point I got an iPhone in November. So when I finally got an iPhone, I texted C. I texted basketball. Oops, I dropped the lip. That's okay. I texted basketball. What? I can't believe I did. Oops. When me and basketball started talking, junior year, I had an Android at this time. So I just wanted to let him know like I have an iPhone now, stuff like that. So we FaceTimed and it was all right. Like our first FaceTime was all right. Because he wasn't really talking to me because it was Thanksgiving break, yeah. So he wasn't really like on the phone for real. Like he was playing his game and I was getting ready to go out to eat with my family for Thanksgiving. So he wasn't really talking for real. So then like usual fashion, we end up talking, still like communicating, texting and all that stuff like that. So when we get back from, and me and Jamaica, where our friendship was growing at this point, like we was hanging out all the time, like every single time you saw us in school, every single period break we were seeing each other. She wasn't a volleyball coach, but we and her ended up becoming softball managers, head coach, volleyball managers, and then I was a softball manager because I was one last year, so I became one again. And then, you know, it was two, me and my sister, so I was like, I could use another hand, so I just asked her if she wanted to be, because she ended up staying after school too. So I was just like, oh, like you can be a softball manager with me. So we became softball managers together. So we was like always together, like literally like every single period break you saw us together. Like people thought we were sisters at one point, like what, we didn't even look alike, but I guess because they all saw us together. My camera's gonna cut off, hold on. Okay, so we're back. So yeah, so we come back from Thanksgiving break, and me and C, like I don't know what, we kind of like we just bounced back. Like it was better in a way, or maybe I was being delulu, because it wasn't really all that for me. It wasn't really that for me. But anyways, it was enough for me to be like, my man back, da 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 da. So I was dropping hints. This one, spam was still a thing, so like I was dropping hints on my spam. And my one friend, she was like who is it? And I was like, don't worry about it, da 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 da. So then me and Jamaica, like for the whole day, the first day back from break, because me and basketball was on the phone the whole time. Like we was on the phone a lot during that time. So I think that's why I was like, are we finna be together and stuff like that, girl? No. But anyways, so then so if you want that full depth of me and basketball, go watch that story time, by the way. So yeah, so I was dropping hints that whole day around Jamaica, and then she was just like, who are you talking about? And I was just like, don't worry about it, like, because I didn't want to say who it was until we actually got together, because I don't know, I just wanted to keep it, and I just like the game of who is it, show no tell. So then I even posted, like when we was on FaceTime, I even posted like a up close screenshot of like his ear, I think it was like some part of his face, really couldn't tell who it was. So then by the end of the day, we was waiting outside the locker rooms for them to open up so the softball girls could change out and change into their uniforms and stuff like that. So I had dropped, I cannot remember, I dropped one hint, and it was like the biggest hint to let her know I was talking to him again. I think I was like, I can't help that we're talking again, or I can't believe we're talking again, or something like that. And like whatever I said, and she looked at me and like she froze, and she was like, for like 10 seconds. I will not, like 10 seconds. She just stood there staring at me, and then she was like, "Are you talking to basketball again?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Oh." And immediately, because I remember, like, when I told her about a month ago, I was like, "Why are you talking to him?" Like, and then she was like, "Oh no, like, I just thought that you said you hated him, and I thought you said you weren't talking to him anymore." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but like I told you, like, we always talk and then stop talking." And then she was like, "Oh well, just be careful." What do you mean, be careful? It was just, I don't know, like, it just was weird, because when I dropped the hint and she just stared at me for 10 seconds, I was just like, "What?" And then she was like, "Oh, are you talking to basketball?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Oh." Like, it was just, like, I don't know, the response was weird, because it's like, what could you really be mad at if I'm talking to him again? Like, what does it affect you? Because when I told my one friend who was there, like, she knew from the moment that basketball slid in my DM, from the very beginning of us talking. My one friend, she was there from the beginning. Like, she saw the interaction from the beginning. And when I called her and told her I was talking to him again, she laughed. Like, she didn't care. Like, she was just like, "Oh my gosh, y'all keep talking and stuff like that. I thought you blocked him." And I was like, "Yeah, I unblocked him." Like, she laughed. She didn't get mad or take it serious or get weirded out or give a weird response. Like, she didn't care, you know? So from somebody who was there from the beginning, gave me that reaction, for somebody who only knew from what I told you a month ago, was like, who was asking about him and his red flags and all that stuff like that, it gets, that's why I was like, "Are you talking to him or something? Because what's up?" So yeah, so that was that. The day, like, the afternoon was weird after that, because I'm overthinking, like, is she lying to me? Like, why is she so creeped out? She's giving me dry responses, just being on her phone the whole time. So it was just a weird afternoon. So after I told her that I was talking to C again, C had dropped some pictures, you know, like that after winter break. You know, usually whenever you get new pictures, you always drop pictures. So he ended up dropping some pictures. So me and him wasn't following each other, because once I got an iPhone, we didn't talk on Instagram. Like, we only talked iMessage. But I still was checking at social media. So I was looking at his picture for 3 days. 3 days, just going back, looking at the picture and stuff like that. Because, you know, the term is glowed up. Like, he glowed up from junior year, looked good or whatever. So I was looking at his picture, and then once I told her I was talking to C again, because they was already following each other. Like, once me and her started following each other, I searched his name up. Basketball name did come up, following and followers. So they were already following each other. She got that. But as soon as he dropped that picture for 3 days straight, I did not see liked by Jamaica in the likes. And it wasn't until the next day, when the day I told her I was talking to basketball again, the next day I go back on his picture. Why does it say liked by Jamaica? That's just not no coincidence. Like, I thought it was weird. Like, I told you I'm talking to him. 3 days I'm looking at the picture, boom, 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 you know, because I'm like, "Oh, he looks so cute," everything like that. I know you follow him. Nothing came up, and I cannot lie. The next day that I go back on the picture, the day after I told her I'm talking to him again, liked by Jamaica is what I see in his likes. So of course, I take it to her face, and I'm just like, "Why are you liking his pictures?" And she was like, "Oh, like, it's Instagram, like, it was on my feed, like, I just liked it. I do follow him already. I already told you that. It's nothing, da 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 da." So I don't think much of it, because when she says Instagram, I'm like, that's true. Like, if you know, you don't know when somebody's picture can pop up. So I'm like, okay, fine, you got that. So I left it alone. That's fine. So then the next interaction, I don't know when the military ball was, but she ended up having a military ball because she was in ROTC. So that's like in Florida. I don't know if that's universal, but in Florida it's like kids who are getting prepared to go to like the military, Navy, the Army. They get you prepared for that stuff. So she was in it because she wanted to go to the Army, I believe. So she needed a +1. At this point, she was bisexual, or is. She did have a girlfriend at the time. So that's another reason why I didn't think too much of it either, because she had a girlfriend, on and off one. But she went to a different school. So she needed a +1, and she asked me, "Could I go?" And I'm like, "Sure, like, I'm your friend, like, I have nothing else to do, I'll go with you." So we get there, and like, literally it's her event. So I was her +1, so I didn't know anybody but her. So she would leave me to go with her other friends. Like, she was like, "Oh, sit here, I'll come back." Wouldn't come back for like 3 songs. You know how long 3 songs? Like 10 minutes. So, and then when she would come back, she would check on me for a little bit and then leave again, like, you know. And I didn't want to follow her around like a lost puppy, because that's just not my thing. Like, I don't know, I feel like you look more weird following somebody around. So when she finally the last time she finally came and stayed with me was a Caribbean music had came on. So she wanted me to record her dancing and whining. So I'm like, yeah, of course, like, I'm your friend, I got you. So I'm recording and stuff like that. And it looks good, so I give it to her, like, yep. Pat myself on the back, good angles. So then the next day she FaceTimes me. And at this point, I remember it's Saturday, it's the weekend because I was home. So I answered the FaceTime. And then she's like, hey, and I'm like, hey girl, stuff like that. So then she's like, are you in basketball still talking? So I'm like, I mean, we're not talking, but yeah, we're still texting here and there. Why? Because immediately I'm getting attitude because I'm like, why is his name coming out your mouth? Like, I'm just like, what? So then she's like, oh, okay, well, I have to show you something. So I'm like, what? So screen recording wasn't a thing on FaceTime, y'all know that. So she screenshots and sends to my phone that basketball swiped up on, because she posted a video of her whining. Basketball, it shows that basketball swiped up with heart eyes. Immediately I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Because at this point, like I said, I was smaller. I was like 140-ish, and I didn't have no butt. I had boobs, a little stomach. Like, I was really insecure about my figure at this time. And I have a friend who is curved down. Like, she is Coke bottle shaped, literally. Like, she has a beautiful figure. So immediately I get insecure because I'm just like, or my insecurities come out even more. And I'm just like, bro, what? Like, you already got me on the body. Like, what the freak? Like, he swiped up with hard eyes. Like, oh my gosh. So I just hung up on her. Like, I was too embarrassed because I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm sitting here talking about you, bragging about you, and you swipe up on my, he didn't know we was friends. Like, he didn't even know that me and her was friends at this time. So I just hung up on her. Like, I remember just hanging up. Like, I had nothing else to say. Like, what I'm gonna say? So I just hung up on her. I mean, there's nothing, you ain't do nothing, you posted it, like, it's your social, like, you know, ain't nobody told you, we didn't know he was gonna swipe on your stuff. So I just hung up on her and I FaceTime him, and he picks up good things, because usually, like, back then, oh my gosh, girl, like, hell would have to fall down for him to answer that phone. That's how rare it was. So he picked up the phone and I'm like, what are you doing? So I think he was playing a game at this point. So then I'm like, do you know somebody named Jamaica? And then he's like, you have to show me a picture, I don't know who that is. So I'm like, you follow her. So I say her name, _Jamaica_. I'm dropping so many. So I'm like, it's _Jamaica_. So then he's like, he goes to her Instagram, he's like, oh yeah, I follow her, da, da, da. So I'm like, how do you know her? So then he's like, they had two different stories. To this day, I really don't know how they know each other, because it would be weird to ask now because it's been so many years and it's pointless now. But he said that they know each other because they met in the mall and she was trying to talk to him and his friend. And I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, like they, she walked up to us. And after that, it's a blur. Like, I do not know how I just kind of, everything he said, because to this day I don't remember the rest. I just know that he said that they met in a mall. And I remember asking, like, y'all didn't go to Bevan's together? And he was like, I don't remember seeing her, no. So then the next day I asked her, I'm like, so how do you and basketball know each other again? And she's like, I told you, like, we went to Bevan's together, we went to the same school, our friend groups were like close together or something like that. And she used to call everyone at Bevan's her baby. She's like, oh, those are my little babies at Bevan's. Like, yeah, he was a part of, like, I knew him because of my friends, something like that. Two different stories, so you see that, like, they still don't make sense. So I was like, okay, kept that in the back of my mind. Still, I didn't even remember. I don't think I told him that, like, I know you swiped up on her stuff. I don't remember that. I should have. Me now would have, but I don't remember then if I brought it to his attention, because I can't remember that interaction. Or maybe it's that old that I can't remember, but I don't remember. Why did you swipe up on her stuff? I don't know. So still talking to basketball, still being friends with Jamaica. So then months later, we're still softball managers. I think at this point we're in 2020, because I see my hair and I know that's 2020. So we're in 2020 now, and we were in the physical therapy room because some of the girls, you know, had to get bandage wraps and they had to do some rehabilitation and stuff like that. So we was in there with them just to kill time before we had to go out to the field with the rest of the softball girls. So we in there, and basketball randomly FaceTimes me. So I always answered his FaceTimes because, like, I wanted to talk to him, because we didn't go to the same school together. We didn't have cars, so we wasn't able to see each other. My parents wasn't that cool at the time to let me go see him and stuff like that, or drop me off to see him and stuff like that. So and we also wasn't that serious enough for that to happen anyway, honestly. So when he FaceTimed me, I was answering it. So I answered it. and we're talking. He's in a good mood, I'm in a good mood. So then Jamaica, she's like, who you on the phone with? And I'm like, you know who I'm on the phone with, because we're still friends. I'm still just like disregarding other interactions. And now we're in the rehab room. I'm on the phone with him, we're talking, and she's like, who you on the phone with? So I'm like, girl, you know who I'm talking to, basketball. So then immediately, this is me, like this is my phone, and I'm gonna be her. So my phone is me still sitting here, so I'm gonna move out the way, but I'm still sitting here. I'm on the phone, you know I'm on the phone with basketball. I'm now Jamaica. Oh, tell him I said, hey basketball, let me see. Just literally like that. And I literally was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, just chill. Because immediately I already don't trust you with him. And then I'm already insecure. Like at this point, at this point in my life, I thought she was better than me. I thought she was prettier than me. She already had the body. So I immediately just like got insecure. And the last thing I wanted was like for them really to see each other. I don't know. I was really insecure at this point, y'all. Don't do too much on me. What's your phone? Okay. So yeah, so and I believe at this point, I believe on that FaceTime I did tell basketball that me and Jamaica was friends once I asked about it, because obviously like why, you know. So I believe I did tell him that we was friends at this point. So like she literally was like, oh, who's that, basketball? Let me tell him I said, hey basketball, where's his best friend? We'll just call him best friend. She's like, oh, tell his best friend I said hey too. And I was just like, I did not. I was just like, girl, what are you doing? Like that was just so embarrassing for me. So now I'm gonna say something that's so embarrassing. Like this part of the story is so embarrassing for me to this day. So we're getting up to leave because now they finished the rehab for like the 30 minutes we was in there. So now we're getting ready to leave. I'm still on the phone with basketball. So we're getting ready to leave to go out to the field so they can start practicing. So when we get up, okay, I'm gonna get up for that. So when we get up, I jump off the table thing, and I have the phone at my side like this. So you just see the phone swinging like that. So I jump off, and Jamaica is behind me. So my hand, Jamaica's right there. The phone's like this. Y'all can see the phone's like this. Jamaica's right there, right? So when we get up and I jump off the table, Jamaica is getting off the table. Just getting off the table, not around that. She getting off the table. I'm on the phone with basketball. Jamaica has a body. So when I jump down, basketball's like, oh, dang, who's that? My heart sunk. I never forget. Basketball, that's not me, like that. And he was like, oh, I thought that was you. Like I was trying to flirt on the cool, like da. And immediately I was just like, I gotta go. And I just hung up on him. I was so embarrassed. Like I told y'all. Oh, that was open. Like I told y'all, I was already insecure about my figure. I already knew my body wasn't touching hers. Like I already knew that. So when I got off the phone, when I was on the phone and I jumped down the table and he saw her and was like, oh dang, who was that? You already swiped up on her stuff. And you know, like he tried, I don't know if he tried to play it off or if he really thought it was me, but come on now. So I just got off the phone with him because I was too embarrassed, and I did not tell her that. She was like, oh, like, because I started crying because I got so like insecure, like, oh my gosh, like he probably does like her body's better, like just saying a whole bunch of stuff in my mind. So I started crying in the middle of the softball field. Don't care. So she was like, what's wrong? I didn't want to tell her what happened because like I didn't want to give her more ammunition to still try to be in his face for real. So I didn't tell her. Like I just didn't tell her. I was just like nothing. Like I ended up getting an attitude with her because I'm like, you're the reason. He's the reason. They're both the reason. So I started crying and I wouldn't tell her because I was just like, I'm not giving this girl no more ammunition when it comes to basketball. So I didn't tell her. I was just like, nothing, like, no, leave me alone. Crying and stuff like that. So now our friendship was getting rocky at this point. Like we're arguing a lot. We're not really agreeing on much. But also in that interaction, she really was an L friend to me for real. Like she was the type of friend that when you get around niggas, she act different. Like it was one day after school. She wanted something from the vending machine. Like she was hungry because we didn't go to the cafeteria to eat lunch. So sometimes after school we would be hungry, and she had this one teacher who had snacks for the football team and the basketball players. But because Jamaica was one of her students that she liked, she would let her get something and she would let me go in there with her. So she wasn't in that day. Like she had a sub and the sub wouldn't let us in there. So we was hungry after school. So I ain't had no money. I wasn't working, and she didn't have no money either. So literally when we left out of the hallway, she was going up to the basketball players. You know, they already looking cool and in their own element, tall niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just approach them for real. So she goes, oh, do you have $1? She needs something from the vending machine. And I literally was like, what are you doing? And I remember telling them like, oh, don't listen to her, like she's playing. And she did it to 3 different players. Like she went from this group, that basketball player, to that basketball player. And I literally was like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you lying? And she was like, oh, well, it's gonna be for both of us. And I was like, no, tell them that it's the dollar for you. I'm not even hungry, it's for you. Like she would do that. Like she did that one time. One time we was around some guys, and then I used to do a swoop like that. My hair wasn't the longest at this point in my high school years. My hair wasn't that long, so sometimes, you know, like when you do a swoop, you have like some gaps in between the swoop in the part. So we was around them basketball players. She wanted to be around them, and she was like, oh, should I just let me do your hair one day? And I was like, why? And she was like, oh, I can fix it for you in front of them. And she was just always trying to embarrass me in front of them. Like she was an L friend for real. Like, okay, so then, yeah, so now months later, I do not know how long we interaction. So months later, me and her, we're still softball managers. So throughout the day, like I said, me and C, we didn't follow each other's social media, but I still was watching this page. And I had 6 pages at this time. 2 were to lurk on people's pages, then my main page, then I had a spam page, and then I had a black empowerment page for like black beauty and black women and stuff like that. So I used to lurk between the 2 pages. So I was lurking on his one page in 2nd period English, and he had posted, it was this one story trend where it was like, if you care about me, swipe up and send me an X. I'm going to post your picture and tell you if I expect or unexpected you to say you care about me. So I'm watching the story, just watching, you know, girl here, nigga here, girl here, nigga here, da da da. So then, as I'm going through the story, so 2nd period, I'm seeing this face, that face, cool. So 3rd period, I'm checking it again. And why does my friend Jamaica, in his story, you want to know what he put? Unexpected. So I'm like, obviously you guys don't even talk. Like, why are you trying to be in this nigga's face? You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, I was furious. I was hot. I was real upset, because I'm like, even if like he swiped up with the hard eyes and stuff like that, most of the interactions is from you. Like, you're trying so hard to talk to him, and I don't care what he said. You're my friend, you know I'm talking to him. Why are you swiping up talking about you care about him? And it's unexpected, so obviously I don't even talk for real. So I was mad at this point, and like I said, we would see each other during every period break. We would see each other. I didn't see her. I made sure I went different routes so I would not bump into her. Lunch, I didn't eat with her. At this point, we ended up always eating lunch in her favorite teacher's room, the one that would give us snacks. We used to eat lunch in there. I went to the library. I didn't eat with her. She was texting like, where you at? And I was like, don't worry about it, da da da. So then, after avoiding her all day, we were both softball managers, so we were about to run into each other. So I just immediately went to the I forgot what the room is called, the concession room, I guess, because that's where the snacks was at, and I was filling up the water bottles for the girls so they could have during practice or whatever. So she went in there too, and then she was like, oh, so you're not gonna talk to me? So I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you. Why is this in your story? And she immediately gets mad. Oh my gosh, how many times I told you this is social media. I care about everybody that I watch their stories. I just swiped up, just interacting with it. It's nothing personal. I told you I have a girlfriend. I don't like him. Da da da. And I was like, I know you said you have a girlfriend, but why are you still trying to be around the nigga that I told you that I'm talking to, that I like? Like, you know I like him. Da da da. So me and her going back and forth. At this point, we were arguing while holding a jug of waters, like arguing back and forth like this. So then we finally put the stuff down, and because we wanted the girls to focus, we left out of the hut that the softball fields be in, that, you know, both sides have a hut. So we left out of that. Lacrosse is practicing and the track team is practicing. So at this point, she's getting loud. I'm still not getting loud because, like, I wasn't wrong. So I was chilling. Like, I'm just going back and forth with you. Like, I'm not finna raise my voice. But she was getting hostile. She was getting mad. She started yelling for real. So then I was just like, you're not a real friend, because why are you still trying to talk to the nigga that I'm talking to? So just like, you know what, F this. And like immediately everybody just looked at us, and then she just walked off. So I just walked back in the hut and just sat there and waited till 6 o'clock, I think is when I used to go home, which was when practice was over. So then we didn't talk for like 2 days, I believe, and I was fine with that. At this point, it was the weekend, so 2 days was just Saturday and Sunday. So then Monday comes around and she texts me. Okay, so now we're in February, so I was right when I said we're in 2020. So after arguing, we didn't talk for 2 days. So then she texted me, because I didn't text her. I was like, forget it. So this is her. I apologize for yelling at you yesterday. Right now, I'm just not feeling myself, and I'm not myself. Just too many things going on. If you still want to be friends, it's up to you. My mom helped me come to an understanding. And I don't think a friendship should end because of a boy. If we still not friends, say so. And if we are, say so. You know. Okay, so that was her apology to me, and that's how you can tell who was in the wrong, because I wasn't apologizing. I know I wasn't in the wrong. Like, you know, like with the whining video, that was on that nigga. You didn't know we was friends, but that's still on him. Period. But you're my friend. You know I'm talking to him, so you know the 3 interaction. Why are you talking to him? Like, from the beginning, why are you just like trying to be in his face? It really was after that FaceTime when I really didn't trust her for real, because it was just like, you blatantly were trying to get in the phone. Like, you wanted to go through the phone and be on his side. And then for you to swipe up on his stuff, like, you're not innocent for real. No. You know? So my response was, you know, period. Let's just see my response too. I said, I forgive you. We're friends for life. We're not even friends. If you're feeling down, just tell me so I can know how to support you. Okay. So that was all that. And then we started talking about her personal stuff. So yeah. So then our friendship was still very rocky at that point. Like, even though we made up and we were hanging out, like, we really wasn't talking for real. I think we both didn't really trust each other for, like, I think we both like said so many things, and I don't know, like, she said a boy came in between us, but a boy really didn't come in between us. She came in between us because when we became friends, she ended up liking one of my guy friends. We're gonna name him Eyebrows, because his eyebrows are like the most significant part of him. So when me and her became friends, we became friends in October. In October, she ended up liking Eyebrows, because she saw us, me and him had talked like during lunch or whatever, and then she was like, oh, who's that? And I was like, oh, that's my friend Eyebrows. When she started liking him, I put her on with Eyebrows. Even though me and him was friends first, whenever I talked to Eyebrows, it would always be about Jamaica. Like, I never like gave the impression like, oh, like I want to, you know, like sometimes when girls find out you like somebody, all of a sudden they start being over flirty and doing too much, like Jamaica. With me, I literally, even though me and him was friends before me in Jamaica, I literally only talked to him about Jamaica, literally. So it's like, a guy didn't come in between us. You came in between us because you started acting weird around this certain guy that I told you I liked. It's not like it was any guy. It was about basketball, and you started being real weird about it and started moving weird when it came to him, you know. And like, you wouldn't unfollow him, just justify like we went to Bevins together. Girl, you go to Chiba now, so unfollow him. So yeah, so our friendship got really rocky, and then lo and behold, COVID hits and spring break comes around, and we ended up going on, you know, that 2-week break that turned into 4 or 6 months, I forgot how long, of a lockdown. So once that hit, our friendship died. Like, we stopped texting during COVID. We didn't talk anymore, all that. So yeah, so she was a terrible friend, and to this day they still follow each other. To this day I don't know how they really know each other, and to this day he doesn't like her stuff. Sometimes I randomly look, but she still likes his stuff. My brain. So yeah, so that is a story time on how my friend wanted my man, who was not my man but was my man, more my man than it was hers. But yeah, so if you want the saga on me and situationship, go watch that video. Like I said for like the 3rd time, sorry already. You can watch that one, get the full rundown on me and him. And then I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments if you ever had a friend like this. Were you that friend? Because some girls, I mean, there's girls like that. And if you were that friend, that's okay as long as you're not that friend now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so let me know how you feel about this video. If you guys want any more story times, I can go in the cobwebs of my brain and get some more for y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 triple back-to-back uploads. Love you guys. Stay blessed and stay positive. And if you're in the Florida area, stay clear of this storm.